Hello, we are live with Jenn Sandercock all the way in Seattle, coming in through Berlin, Amsterdam, and wherever Anna is. Thank you so much for joining, Jenn. I'm gonna explain briefly what we're doing here. So we've set out a call for Amaze, doing a first ever live cooking show, and lots of people signed up, submitted something. We really wanted to have quite a few different recipes from around the world, local dishes, and we already did 2 of them. So on Thursday we had Shailesh Prabhu in Malmo doing making a vangi bath, and then yesterday we had a Riker in South Africa doing a butternut dish, fusion dish. And then today we've got Jenn Sandercock making Mini-Pavlovas. Welcome, Jenn, to this Amaze live cooking show for the first time ever. Thank you so much. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm going to, in the background, just start separating my eggs.
Yes, please.
So we can start doing introductions, but yeah, I don't know. Should I talk more about what I'm doing? I mean, I don't know what intro I was given about edible games and how much people know about them.
Nothing. We're just going this in this just with a blank space, so we can talk about this however much you want while you're doing your separating of eggs. What is your strategy for separating of eggs, basically?
I just stick them in my hands, and then if I'm doing a few at a time, I'll pour the completed ones into a bowl, so that then if I screw up, it's just screwing up one egg versus the other ones that I've already worked on. So yeah, it's kind of gross, but it does the job a lot more easily than anything else. So, there we go.
And why are you separating the eggs?
Because we're going to be making meringues today, and the core ingredient of meringues is egg whites. So we don't need the egg yolks anymore. I often end up making recipes that use egg yolks, and you have egg whites left over, and you can freeze them easily, and then they thaw out, but you can't freeze egg yolks. So you've either got to use it or lose it. See that in the background. But yeah, so I mean, I really should beat this. Anyways.
Do it. Beat it.
I guess I better mute myself. So you keep chatting in the background maybe, and I'll be back.
Okay, so Jenn is now beating the eggs. Do anyone have questions, Anna, in the chat already about beating eggs? How long that goes for and anything? Because I'm imagining it's making a lot of noise at the moment, so we have to mute Jenn, sadly. But we can just keep talking. Actually, I always have issues with beating eggs myself, I guess, to make it really the peaks going. But yeah, we cannot see it at the moment, but there is some egg beating going on. Egg whites beating going on. Yeah, but Jenn is coming live from Seattle.
There we go. I really couldn't hear a word. Anything happened there. But anyway, so now I've got the egg whites to a point where they're kind of fluffy, and that's where I start. I'll put in the sugar little bit by little bit and keep.
Can you put it a little bit higher so that we see how it looks now? Okay. Yes.
Okay. Hang on, I'm going the wrong way for this. Oh my
no,
gosh.
it's fine. It's fine. We see it. Oh, we were actually seeing the top-down view as well. Yeah. So so that's good. Yep. Thank you.
All right, I'll just keep going then.
Yes. So beating egg whites. So I'm now taking over the cooking show. How to beat egg whites. So she's putting in some sugar, I'm guessing. We don't see both of the cooking stream, I know. No, no, it's okay. It's okay to have only the one thing. But maybe... Okay, so Jen has set up a camera, has set up two different cameras, one top view and one with facing her. And sometimes we switch unless the view is not doing it.
This is kind of, it's a little bit goopy. I might give it a little bit, a bit more of a go because it's a bit too runny.
Okay. So the stream team is mixing between those two different views, which is super nice that we can do this. It's like actually a live cooking show. This is we're doing TV show basically. I really love that. Thank you, Amaze, for making this possible.
I don't think it's changing much. That's all right. Okay. See, so I guess what I'm making isn't like a super stereotypical meringue, because a real meringue, a real pavlova in Australia is like quite large and it's thick, and inside it's kind of moussey, whereas many other meringues are quite dry or chewy inside. But because these are going to be for edible games where you want to have like just a small little bite-sized bit, I'm just making pure meringues, which is like egg white and sugar. When I'm done, I'm going to stick it into a piping bag. If you don't have a piping bag, you can use like any sort of sandwich bag and then chop a little bit off the bottom or something. So hopefully today we'll be making these. These are going to work for two of my edible games. Ooh, look at that, that's not very much. The trick when filling a piping bag is to get a kind of like sleeve like that, and then you can use that to wipe your spatula off with your hand. Zoraida, have you done much meringue baking before? Or
I've tried it once with a friend of mine, Charlotte Madelon, who is a game designer, and I used to bake a lot together with her before she moved to Denmark. But that was, yeah, we tried to make a lemon meringue at some point. It was hard. We didn't expect it to be that hard. So yeah, it was.
The egg whites is kind of the big thing, I think. So
yeah.
All right.
Do you have any tips for it?
I mean, other than like just being careful and you know, doing what I was doing, where you have the separate bowl, and if you get any egg yolk whatsoever, just start again. There's just no point. So yeah.
And did you put sugar in it? Did I see?
Yes. Yeah, so I use caster sugar, or superfine sugar as it's called in the US. If you use more granular sugar, then it becomes a bit more grainy. You could substitute for, like, I've sometimes made meringues using maple sugar, and that makes them a bit browner and really like goopy and delicious. So you can mix and match a bit, but you want like as fine grain as possible to help it mix and incorporate in. Now I'm gonna make a few little nesty nests. I don't know how much of my technique you can see, but I'm just kind of a bit concerned about my meringue here. It looks a little goopy. I think potentially I should have whipped my egg whites a wee bit more first. Like once you start putting in the sugar, it doesn't seem to make them go up, but they'll still be tasty. And the best thing about pavlovas is that you put cream on them, and so any mistakes you make can usually be covered with cream. So yeah, in my book I had lamingtons, which are a traditional Aussie kind of cake, I guess. And pavlova is slightly controversial because I believe it actually was created in New Zealand, but of course Australia pretends like that never happened. Like, no, we invented it.
So it's a New Zealand Australia mix at the moment that we're making.
Yeah. Actually, I mean, I used a British chef for this particular combination, but I mean, the meringues themselves, like, it's one egg white to 60 grams of sugar, and this is like 2 egg whites, and it's going to make absolutely heaps. So they do last a long time. So there is that. But yeah, there's not. I tried looking in other books and stuff. If you're going to make like a big pavlova, then often you'll put some vinegar and maybe even corn flour in it to kind of help it be moist and structurally good. Actually, I know what I should show. This is fun. Hang on. Most people in Australia don't really know how to make meringues, so they use these things like pavlova magic.
Wow.
And so like, it's like a cake mix, but what's cool about it is it's like 2 halves of the egg, and then when you open it up, they become your measuring cups. So it's like use the top part of sugar and the bottom part, fill it with water, something along those lines, and then you get one. So I always buy some when I'm back in Australia.
I want that. That's so cool.
Yeah, I mean, my meringues, like when I do a proper big pavlova, it'll often collapse in the middle, which is disappointing. So, but it doesn't tend to matter too much. It still tastes good.
Rachel says you have a nice kitchen.
Yeah, I love this kitchen. Although the actual oven that I have is not great. I have to preheat for at least 45 minutes before I can use it.
Your second screen is frozen.
Oh, I will pick up and turn it back on again. Let's see, is that it going again? Maybe not. Oh. Maybe I'll have to give up on my second one. Yeah, looks like that camera's died. So
okay.
I'm almost done on this part anyways, and this is kind of the main part that will require that like is good for a top down.
I heard you said heaps, and then I was reminded, even though we were talking about pavlovas and lamingtons, that oh yeah, you're actually from Australia, right? And at the moment you're in Seattle,
yes.
Based in Seattle. Yeah. And what's your background? Are you a professional baker? Or...
No. No, I've just been baking a lot with. I'm going to stick these in the oven now. They look kind of flat. Not super happy, but whatever. They'll go in. All right. Yes, no, not a professional baker at all. I just love baking, so I've been doing that for a long time, I guess, watching my mum bake as well, growing up. Yeah, and then I guess like I always liked games, and so it just seemed really obvious to stick them together. So
yeah, can you tell a little bit about that, because people are probably have no idea about this. I mean, some of them have, but others don't. So I see something in the background that I know about, but other people might just think, oh, that's whatever baking thing going on, but it's actually, look, it's the Edible Games Cookbook by the one and only Jenn. It's Jenn.
So yes,
Look at.
This is one of the ones that we're making the pavlovas for today, High Tea Assassin. So the idea is it's a whole bunch of little mini bites, and you can keep playing. Let's see if I can find Flavour Roulette, which is the other one that we're playing today. Where did that one go? Here we go. This is Flavour Roulette. Normally you play Flavour Roulette with like 4 people or something, but obviously with quarantine lockdown, we can't all do that. So I'll be showing a version that you can just play on your own, where you eat food and somebody watches you and laughs at you. So which I don't know. That's kind of my style, letting people laugh at me.
So you made the edible cookbook last year, right? The Kickstarter started.
Yeah, my Kickstarter was 2 years ago. I think it was almost exactly 2 years ago that my Kickstarter finished, and then I made the book, and did all of the photography with the photographer, and then the book got published last year, and it reached most backers by like December-ish. So.
It's a beautiful book. It's also quite a big book, I have to say, and but with these beautiful pictures, and it's like a proper cookbook. But then it's all edible games, so you can actually play games, make the food or pastry, and then actually play games with it, which is mind blowing and so amazing. So thank you for doing that, Jenn.
It's been great. I mean, I've seen edible versions of existing things previously, but what I tried to do was make sure you couldn't play if you're not eating. So we're gonna play today, but you'll see you're not getting a particularly great experience by not eating yourselves.
Yeah, it's all about eating, which is super good. And you also did it at some point at GDC. Did you not do one version of edible games at GDC?
Yeah, I've shown, what did I do? I showed at the experimental gameplay workshop twice. So the first time was kind of when I was introducing edible games and showing what they could do. And then the next time was kind of showing some of the experiments I had to do to get stuff to work. So like working out blue food dye and stuff versus pop rocks, or like how to hide food and make it look the same on the outside. That's kind of a recurring theme that, I mean, certainly the games today play on that, where everything looks the same on the outside, but inside is something different. And by eating it, you get that hidden information and you'll know more.
It's so clever. It's so good. But your actual, where did you go? Wow, something happened and then you left. Nice. What do you have in your hands?
I just got some cream in a bowl. So I've got some of these little meringues that I made earlier. Yeah. I'm cheating, bringing them out. Actually, I do wonder. I do feel like the top-down camera would be nice, but oh well, we're just going to have to deal without it. So yeah, I'm going to, actually maybe I'll fill them. I don't know, I wish my top-down camera was a little less temperamental, but that's what happens when you're trying to do stuff at home.
Yeah.
Where can people find your book?
Sadly, I only made enough for Kickstarter people. I've been kind of trying to find a publisher, but it's a weird book that, like, I spoke to some people last year and they're kind of like, well, I don't really know where you would fit in a bookstore. And apparently that's an important question to answer for publishers. So you can buy the digital version on Amazon for Kindle, and then otherwise the physical one, unfortunately, that's it. I don't know how I'm gonna. I wish I could ship it, but like it's a, as Sarita said, it's a very heavy book, and so the shipping on it is a lot.
Yeah, it's so beautiful though. Like, yeah, it should get into a bookstore. It should be there because we all need it. Look, I just love the physicality of these cookbooks and of other books. So I really love that you actually made it into a book, that you actually made that happen. So yeah, did it go all over the world? Like, where did you need to send it to?
Oh yeah, all over the world. There's actually one book that I think's held up at the moment still, like it's trying to get to Dubai or something like that, and apparently Dubai isn't allowing a post from the US right now or something. I don't know for sure, but there was like one book that was held up. But yeah, I went around the world. It was fun because I got my shipping partner. They had kind of distribution centers in the US, Canada, Asia, UK, and Australia. And so I got batches of books sent to all of those places so that they could be shipped out with local shipping versus otherwise.
Okay.
Yeah, it was funny when I was first contacting the shipping partners, and they're like, well, for many people it's not worth like having the dedicated system in Australia, sending a dedicated bunch there. But obviously I'm from Australia, so I had a bunch of backers in Australia, so proportionally, like it was worth it for me to do that.
Oh, yeah, cool. So we've got the meringues in the oven, right? At the moment, which you made by separating eggs and just using the egg whites, then mixing it for how many minutes, you'd say?
I mean, it's till it's stiff. It depends on your situation.
That's always the case, right? It depends on your mixer, it depends on your oven, how everything goes. So you have to always watch that, basically. And then you're gonna fill it with some cream, you said, right?
Well, yeah, firstly I should actually put on the little the hidden parts, I guess, first. Would be a good idea. And that's why I really wish I had the top down camera working again. We could continue chatting and I could just go, I gotta go around.
Yeah. Let's try it. Let's see if we can get it to work.
Are there any other questions from the audience or anything?
Not yet, but there is someone who has your book and has backed it like instantly when it was on Kickstarter.
Oh, that's super cool. I'm glad I got backers here. All right, I think I got my top down working again, so that's good. So I've got these three here are all for High Tea Assassin. I don't know if you can see. Can people see the top down camera?
Not at the moment, I think. Stream team, do your thing, please. We've got it back.
I mean, I can do it this way. So anyway, I've got 3 plates that each have 2 on them. I mean, this is for High Tea Assassin because each player will end up eating 2 things. And so I'm going to put different toppings in them. I've got some little chocolate chips in a bowl, and I'm just going to melt them. So the way I melt chocolate chips is 20 seconds each time in the microwave. And then like stir in between, and because the trick is chocolate can burn and it can look like it's still solid form, but as soon as you stir it, it'll mush in. So short bursts is good.
Okay.
So we're going to fill one with some liquid chocolate, just melted chocolate, one with some raspberry jam, that I've got some homemade raspberry jam. And then let me see what else. And then the other one will just be empty. So 20 seconds, usually not enough. Stick it in for another 20. Cool. The trick with the jam is to try to make sure it doesn't spill out the edges, because that will be a dead giveaway to people. All right, there we go. So hopefully you all can see that. I put like a little bit down.
Okay,
Sorry, there's something going wrong with this stream. We're still on, but sometimes it switches to something else, but it's fine. So there was a strange voice coming over. But yeah, so this is the chocolate, right, which you're having right now, and you're stirring it.
It's still got a few lumps in it, but because I only need a tiny bit, I'm not really super fussed, so I'd rather just put it in like this rather than otherwise.
What
so
kind of bowl?
Oh, this is just a small plastic bowl.
Plastic bowl.
I mean, glass is probably better, but
this works.
All right, there we go. We've got our secret hidden centers,
which we already know.
You do know, but there we go. And then I'm gonna do the ones for Flavour Roulette, and I've decided one's gonna have like nothing terrible in the inside, and one is gonna have Dijon mustard in it. Other times I've tried wasabi, but the goal of Flavour Roulette, usually you play with 3 or 4 people, and there's one of them that tastes bad and the others are all good, and everyone takes it in turns eating the item, and then you just got to keep a poker face, and everybody will guess who they think had the bad one, and you know, you can keep track of points, but mostly it's just for silliness. But yeah, in my book, I think I'll show you. I'm not a very good actor, so I thought I'd better actually, and I also have a terrible poker face, so I thought I'd better take actual photos of myself doing it for real. And let me see, where did it go in here? Here we go. So there's like this wall of of me doing very bad poker faces. So you're gonna see more of that today.
Wow.
Okay. All right. Here we go. What was interesting when I was doing research for this game was that there were some things that you would think would be super disgusting together and actually worked really well.
Okay.
Like I tried putting some Vegemite or Promite into like a chocolate truffle, and it was really tasty. And I'm like, well, that's not gonna work. The idea is to get something that tastes just bad enough that it's difficult to keep a straight face, but not so bad that you end up throwing up.
I remember a game that friends used to have, this little game where there were different spices and stuff in little bottles, and it was an actual game that was made somewhere, and that you also had to taste it, and then they could also put like different things in it. And that reminded me of like, oh yeah, so someone actually made a game like that also, like way back, and they were having fun with how to taste stuff and everything. So I'm really happy that you made it into a proper book and implement all these kind of different things in there, and that people can actually bake it themselves as well. So yeah.
Cool. I'm going to whip the cream that's going to go on top now, so I better mute myself again.
Okay.
So basically it's just going to be beating it until it's stiff. So
so maybe we can watch in silence. It's a bit of a Zen moment here, so I'm going to shut up. We can all hum like we did in Heather Kelly's exercise ritual. Hum. So we're beating egg white again. Hum. And maybe you can see it, but Jenn has actually been traveling the world a bit and also doing the different edible game sessions. And she once went to the Netherlands to another festival I'm doing, Play for Arts Festival, and there she also gave out these little pins, and I'm wearing it at the moment, so I can show you in the corner, I guess. These little pins, and they're so pretty.
there we go. So it's now nice and stiff and brings up the beater. Okay.
Excellent.
So I think that's the last time I need the beater. So that's So then I'm just going to get little bits and then just put them. I mean, you could pipe this if you want to, but spoons also work fine. Just going to stick a bit of cream on top like that. Making sure I'm covering any telltale signs of what might be underneath. I'm hoping we'll be able to play this, although I guess it's going to end up being with you. I'll have to play or something like the three of us on the Zoom here. Oh, I missed one.
Anna,
This is what I mean about, like, this is why pavlovas are good, because if this meringue looked terrible, nobody's going to see it. It's all covered in cream. All right. Oh, and then I got
What? 9 minutes?
9 minutes?
Yes, that's what I got through. I was just wondering how many minutes we had, but 9 minutes apparently.
Okay.
So
We'll have to go quickly then. All right, and then I brought some toppings for these because it wouldn't be pavlova without toppings. So I'm just gonna put these randomly on top. Oops. Got a match. All right. So then we're now ready to play if we want. So I'll do Flavour Roulette first because that one's super simple. So I've got two things that kind of look the same. I know which one's which right now, but I'm just gonna like spin the plate around. So I don't know. And then I'm gonna eat them one after the other. And you all are going to have to tell me, I guess on the feed which one had the
yes,
bad flavor in it. So
okay, good luck. That was a good one. Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Bring some water here, just in case.
Okay, chat people, what do you think was the first one? Was it the one with it was Dijon mustard, or the other one was?
Dijon mustard or just plain with nothing
just
in it?
Plain, okay.
Try the other one now.
I feel like you're more excited about this one than the previous one. So, I don't know. Anna, what are you thinking? I can see your face. No one else can, but I can see and hear.
I think the first one was the good one.
The first one was the good one. Oh, we have different opinions. So I was thinking the second one was the plain one, so the normal tasting, and then the first one was the Dijon.
I think the water was to like confuse us.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, I don't get any messages. Okay, yes, I agree. Ida says the first one, right? Yeah.
Rachel says second was mustard also, yeah. And
No.
also Rachel says that this reminds her of an experimental dinner roulette game that she wanted to make since 2013. So yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay, so I guess most of the people said the second one was the Dijon mustard one. And no, right? I was right.
So yeah, I don't know if we'll have time to play High Tea Assassin, but I'll explain the rules. It's also going to be too hard potentially. I thought maybe other people would be able to see them and stuff. But the way that High Tea Assassin works is we've got the three different ones, and I've got three different toppings, so I know that they match. It doesn't really matter what's underneath. But the idea is that you get three people together and each person eats their first one. When they like they eat it without kind of letting on what's inside, so to speak. Somebody will have the chocolate inside, and they are like the chocolate monarch, and so they can then announce that to everybody, like, hey, I got the chocolate, I am now the monarch, and then they can tell everybody how they should address them, like I'm Queen Jenn, or maybe I like Queen Sparkle Cakes if I want to be silly. And then the other two people, one of them got like nothing in the center, or maybe sometimes I put lemon curd in. And then the other person got jam. The person who got jam is the assassin. Now, the assassin has already taken an antidote for like this jammy assassination thing that will kill you. So they're okay eating one, but they can't eat two. And so everybody at this point has one of their items left on their plate. And so the assassin and the person who isn't the assassin, who is called the loyal subject, need to petition the monarch to choose them. Because, you know, a monarch can't be a monarch of no one. They have to be a monarch of somebody. They have to trust their subjects. And so the idea is that the monarch like talks, can ask as many questions as they want, maybe like ask for promises like, you know, back rubs or something later on of the supposedly loyal subjects. And then the monarch chooses who they believe is the loyal subject. And at that point, the tray swaps. So the monarch swaps what they have left with the person who they believe is the loyal subject, and then everybody eats their final one, and whoever gets the jam then will die. So the monarch may have worked out who to trust, may not have worked out who to trust, but either way, you all get delicious little Mini-Pavlovas.
Yes. It's so nice to have a game where it's exciting to try and figure out things, but then also you get to eat some stuff, and even if you're the dead person, you still have eaten something delicious, right? So that's really cool.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think with edible games in general, that the games themselves don't actually have to be that good because people like the food, so I kind of cheat. I mean, I think the games are fun, but they're not exactly sophisticated, hard games or anything by any means.
Okay, we've got like 1 more minute left to wrap it up. Do you want to share anything that you still wanted to share?
Checking in on my meringues, so probably a little bit more in the oven. One of the best things about meringues is just to turn off the oven and leave them to chill. Right.
Good tip. Yeah, people can get your edible games book as a PDF. Where was that again that they got it?
On Amazon Kindle.
Amazon Kindle, right. And you're actually a game designer, are you not?
Yeah.
Like not food game designer normally, but a game designer. Thank you so much for sharing your amazing edible baking with us. I wish we could actually taste it, but we just have to follow your recipes from your book.
Just one last question. Is she a gamer who started to cook, or a cook who started playing games?
Oh, that's a good one. I think I've been doing both since I was really young, so I wouldn't really know which happened first. Yeah.
So making games, eating game bakes, and everything. So that's really good. Yeah, I think that's the last question. There is a Discord. Will you be on Discord if people have questions?
Yeah, I can definitely do that.
Okay, so Jenn is going to be on Discord. You can also check her profile on the Amaze website to see where you can find information about Jenn and her work. Really, thank you for submitting this to us and sharing your food with us and your kitchen, which is lovely. Yeah, thank you, Jenn.
I will say I'm not on the Discord yet, but I will join it. So you can't like message me yet, but I will join.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much. And she's also on Twitter and Instagram, I think, right?
Yes.
Okay. Can we see for the last time the things that you made? Yes.
So I could probably just put them all on the same plate because they've now been distinguished by their toppings. So there they all are.
Oh, yes. Thank you. That looks delicious. I want it now.
And meringues are awesome. They take so little time to like. I don't think they take that much time, and then they'll last a really long time. So yeah.
Well, enjoy your meringues that you've baked, so many of them. Excellent. Thank you so much, and talk to you soon. So, bye.